Believe me when I say that Xfield is far ahead in the competition of being the number one creator platform for generating AI videos with the most user-friendly interface. In this video, I'll be reviewing the Cinema Studio 2.0 from Xfield, and trust me, this one is a really crazy update because the Cinema Studio allows you to generate speed ramped cinematic style video. I mean, custom speed ramped videos. So you know those kind of action films, those cinematic scene where the character is shooting with a lot of speed, then it slows down, the bullet flies past. Those kind of speed control. Xfield Cinema Studio gives it to you in just a click of the button. Now, the second awesome thing that the Cinema Studio brings to the table is emotions. AI videos have never gotten this good. Now, your characters can move through different emotions with just the click of a button. Your characters can show excitement, they can show sadness, they can show agitation, like realistically, not just one kind of AI generated motions or gestures. And all this is why I'm very excited to talk about Xfield Cinema Studio 2.0 in this video. So what are we waiting for? Let's dive into my computer so you see the awesome things that you can do with Xfield Cinema Studio 2.0. Now, by now I believe all of you are familiar with this interface because I've reviewed a lot of Xfield different updates. And for the Cinema Studio, all you need to do when you come to the Xfield homepage, go ahead and click on this Cinema Studio right here. And when you click on this, it's going to take you to the Cinema Studio page. And you can see a lot of things I've generated with this model because I won't review a tool if I've not tried it and I've not seen that it's really good. So if you see, I've generated a lot of crazy kind of images. To work with the Cinema Studio, the first thing you want to do is to come to the image section. It's not compulsory to start here. You can also go directly and generate a video from prompt. But what I like to do is start with the image section. And to make things quick, I've already created a prompt here where I said a man shooting and it ducks behind a wall to dodge enemy bullets. Yeah, I've done this and I did set the batch size to 1, and I set the aspect ratio to 16:9, which is the traditional ratio for like YouTube and other kind of platforms that use this. You can also go ahead and change this to maybe the TikTok style, which is 9:16, and you can select up to 4K quality, which I've left this in 4K resolution. And I like working with the grid, with the 2x2 grid, which will generate this because it's just a short clip, and I think 4 scenes are okay to generate what I'm looking at. You can also go ahead and work with the one if you choose, and you're still going to be able to generate, very accurate, progression from here. And I've also tried the 4x4 and just different. I've tried a lot with this tool. Now, if keeping consistent elements is something you worry about, then using this element tab helps you to do that just easily. And you can keep you see you can use up to 4 unique elements in a prompt where you're just going to click and create an element, and you're going to put that reference this element with the @ symbol in your prompt. Now, this gives you the ability to create, cinematic style, advanced photography kind of pictures. So if you understand photography, if you go ahead and click on this, you can see you can select the kind of camera, you can select the lens, you can select the focal length, you can select the aperture. So basically how the scene is presented, how cinematic it looks, how it collects light, how far it is from the camera. So these are a little bit advanced if you are not like a professional photographer or you don't really understand the precepts of photography. But basically, I'm going to leave this at the Studio Digital S35, the Premium Modem Prime, and the focal length. I'm going to leave it at 34, and I'm going to just leave the aperture as it is. Now you understand how to generate image. I just want you guys to understand that this prompt is what generated the last generation here, and I don't want to go through the process of loading up a new generation. But basically, this prompt created this with these different settings. Now, what you want to do now is to go ahead and click on this that you've generated. So I can just go ahead and click on the grid, and it's going to open the different scenes here. Now from these scenes, I can go ahead and generate a video, and this is where this tool currently shines. Now the Cinema Studio gives you the ability to work within your images like a kind of 3D dimensional space. I can make this image right here as a reference where I'm going to create other prompts or generate other image following this same style. I can go ahead and click on this edit, and it's going to take me to where I can edit the clothes, everything about my character. I can go ahead and animate just this single scene, and it's going to give me a video version of this. So there are a lot I can do with this tool. Now, another thing that this is really crazy, like good at, is that I can just click on this and I'm going to click on what next, and this is just automatically going to generate different scenes that comes after this particular one, and I think it's very awesome. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to set this as a start frame. So I want it to start from this position. So I'm just going to click on this. Then I'm going to set load up. I'm going to set this as an end frame. Now, when I do that, all I need to do is click on animate, and it's going to load up to this place where you can see that both frames are set here for start and end. And I can just go ahead and generate right now, but there are other crazy things we can do with this tool. Now, if you see the movement, we can leave it at auto. You can go ahead and change it to zoomed in, static, but I think the auto just is perfectly fine. Now, for the movement, now this is what I was telling you about the speed ramp. So I want the scene to start quite fast. So I can just go ahead and drag this up because I want the pace to start fast, then become static. So if I want it to start fast, then slows down, I can go ahead and drag this down. So I'm going to get a kind of dynamic, scene. The speed ramp is going to be dynamic, and you're going to see what this means in a bit. Now I can also go ahead and just take one of these auto impact. Impact really feels very good for action. I think I'm just going to leave it at impact, and I can work on the length. So I can make this just 8 seconds, 10 seconds. I think it marks at 12 seconds. So yeah, so I'm just going to leave it at 8 seconds. Now the next thing I can do is to come down to this place where it says single shot, multi shot, and I like leaving it at multi-shot to get different angles. Now the aspect ratio, you can still go ahead and change this here if you want, but I'm just going to leave it at this. Now I'm also going to leave the quality at 1080p, and for the genre I've changed it to action since I'm creating a kind of action scene. Now I also find general to be very effective, but yeah, I'm going to leave this one at action. And the sound, I want the sound on because I really think this model does very crazy well with the audios. Now I'm just going to click on generate, so you see what comes out from this. Now you can see the results of our video, how crazy good it is. You see the speed ramp coming effect where the guy is short and he just dodged the cinematic and the multi-shot, the different perspective to show its hand. This is so crazy good that it can be very well integrated into actual Hollywood cinema without you even spotting the difference sometimes. One thing I like about Xfield is that they have a lot of discounts. So you can just go ahead and check through for any available discounts, because these tools are not free. So you can just go ahead and make some subscription, especially if you're making a 1 year subscription. You do get a lot of discounts in comparison to when you make just a single month subscription. That's just how it is. So I want you guys to check out the tool and let me know what you think about it.